What up, badasses? It's Dustin Coyle. This is the Intelligent Thoughts Podcast. We're doing another episode of the Daily Wager. This one coming to you, Friday. We're going to say April 7th. Friday, April 7th. And again, man, it's going to be pretty heavy in the NBA today. A little bit last night. We made a couple of dollars. If you remember, we'll recap this a little bit. I told you to take Chicago over Philly. It was like minus 250 or some shit like that. Chicago wins 102-90. Pretty good matchup overall. Jimmy B finishes with 19, 10, and 10 for the trip dub. 2 steals added on with that. Mirotic, 22 points, 8 rebounds, shooting trays. Good game overall there. Laverne, 14 points off the bench. Nice little addition there for Chicago. In the loss for Philadelphia, we have Lawawu Cabarro, 18 points, 17 for Anderson, Dario Saric, 9 and 10. Not too spectacular for them. Collect your money there, saw that coming for sure. Brooklyn loses by 8 at Orlando, another one I said to stay away from. In the W, Orlando gets 21 points out of Aaron Gordon. Vucevic had 18 points, 12 rebounds. Meeks with 20 points, and Elfrid Payton becoming a really good point guard, actually. Had a sick-ass off-the-backboard alley-oop to Aaron Gordon in the game. 22 points, 11 assists for him. They win 115-107 at home. In the loss, 32 points for Jeremy Lin, 20 points for Cody LeVert. Other than that, everybody else sort of in some minor numbers there. Milwaukee at Indiana. Indiana was like a 4-point favorite. I didn't really like it. They win 104-89. They went on a 13-0 run sometime in the third quarter to help secure that victory there. They win by 15 points. They get 23 and 10 out of Paul George, 15 out of Teague, 12 out of Young, 10 out of Turner. A good all-around performance for all their players there. In the loss, Giannis goes for 25, 7 boards, 6 assists. Oops, I'm going to push there. God, come on. And 15 for Teletovic off the bench. Chris Middleton, 10 points in 33 minutes. Good win there for Indiana. I believe they're now the number 7 seed and probably like a half game behind Milwaukee for the number 6. Moving on to another game that we made a little bit of money on. The Wizards. This was actually a little tougher than I had thought it was going to be. The Wizards beat the Knicks in Madison Square, 106-103. 24 points, 8 assists for John Wall. He goes 4 for 5 from downtown. Bradley Beal, 25 points. He goes 4 for 9 from downtown. John Wall is the baddest motherfucker to watch in the league. Him and Steph Curry, my 2 favorite players to watch. Maybe add Russ to that as well. 23 points for Carmelo in the L. Plumlee doesn't score in 10 minutes as a starter. 16 off the bench for Holiday. All right, my one loss of the night. I went 2-1, so it's not like that's like a spectacular fucking feat. But Boston, I told you to take them, minus 119. They were a 1-point favorite. They actually lose 116-123 in Atlanta. Paul Millsap, 26 points, 12 rebounds in his first game back. Actually coming off the bench in this one. Played really well, though. Let's see. 26 for him. Tim Hardaway Jr., 23 points, 2 threes. 20 points for Prince. In 40 minutes, Prince puts up 20 points. That's a pretty impressive performance there. For Boston, Isaiah Thomas, 35 points in the loss. Crowder, 24 points. Smart, 18 points, and some damn good defense. Honestly, he played really well last night off of the bench. And then Avery Bradley, 17 points, and he played really well last night too. That pretty much borderline guarantees that the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be the number 1 seed in the East. It'd have to be a lot of shit shaken up in order for them to fall back to the number 2 spot with that loss there. And then the last game of the night, last night, another one that I didn't know how it was going to go, especially without the big man. The Portland Trailblazers at home beat Minnesota Timberwolves 105-98. Minnesota scores 11 points in the fourth quarter, and 4 of those points were in the last 45 seconds. So they put up 7 points in the fourth quarter. Before that, they shot 1 for 20. And Alan Crabb specifically didn't shoot 1 for 20. He, I believe, went 8 for 10 from 3-land. Let's take a peek in the W. And he was on fire in the third and fourth quarter, man. He was literally just stopping and shooting. Steph Curry, Crabb, 25 points off the bench, 8 3-pointers. Great performance there. Damian Lillard, 22, 9 rebounds for the man, 8 assists for him. McCollum, 18 points. Pretty good performance there. Great defensively in the fourth quarter, or just really poor for Minnesota. They, other than Andrew Wiggins, they were not able to get shots at all, and Wiggins was just missing. But he was the only person really able to make his own shot. He had 36 points and 8 rebounds in the loss. Karl Anthony Towns in the loss, 24 points, 16 boards, 4 dimes. Ricky Rubio, 19 points in the loss. He was actually shooting really well. I think he had 13 in the first quarter, then kind of slowed down a little bit. Shot 42% at the end of the day. Was shooting great in the first quarter, just kind of, cooled off a little bit. And so that basically puts Portland, I think, a full game ahead of Denver for the 8th seed. Let me click on the standings button here. Let's see. We have 1.5 games. With the Denver loss, Portland now 1.5 games above Denver with 1. So Denver has 4 to play. Portland has 3 to play. Looks like Portland is probably going to get the W, or probably get the seed here. Good night of games overall, but enough with the past. Let's talk about the future. 9 games tonight in the association. Few good ones. They well, not really actually. I think they tried to make decent matchups, and some of the teams were worse than others, and this and that, and yada yada. So they kind of came out a little bit lopsided, maybe not. I don't know. Let's start with the 5:30 game, the one everybody is probably most interested in. The East, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers at home hosting the Atlanta Hawks. I think tonight, if they win tonight, let's see, Thursday, bump Cavs to 1.5 games remaining. Well, I guess, so they have to win 2 more games. 2 more games are guaranteed the number 1 spot in the East. They've been playing pretty well over the last 4 games. They're on a 4-game winning streak, and they're playing well defensively, holding opponents to 43.5% shooting. Excuse me, I thought I heard some weird shit. J.R. Smith's doing pretty well, shooting over 50% in the past 5. Kyle Korver's coming back. He's been shooting 60%. Oh, yeah, that was in February. Damn, he shot 60% from downtown in February. Nobody really even talked about that. That's pretty crazy. Other than that, you kind of get what you get. It does look like everybody is going to play for both teams. The Cavs have won 12 of the last 13 games. They played on March 3rd in Atlanta, and Cleveland set the NBA record for three-pointers with 25. They won 135, 130. I remember that. The return for Korv. And before yesterday, the Hawks had lost 9 of their last 11 games before they beat the Celtics in what was a pretty damn good game. Oh my God. I guess Paul Millsap's not going to play tonight either. They don't want him to play in back-to-back contests because of that knee injury that he had. Basically, the Cavs are pretty much guaranteed to win this game. I already put a bet on this motherfucker. God damn it, dropped my phone. But let's go ahead and take a look at the spready spread. All right, the Cavs are an 11.5 point favorite at home against the Atlanta Hawks, minus 800. Wait a second, what else did I put? Did you have the Yaz? Huh, I can't remember what. Oh yeah, I do. Wait, or minus 900. Damn, I had him at minus 8. I got him at minus 800, probably 30 minutes ago. So that's really interesting. I also noticed that the Grizzlies spread is stretching out, and the Jazz spread is stretching out, and the Thunder. Holy shit, man! All the favorites are really stretching their spreads right now. So I don't know. I would possibly even wait on anything I tell you until closer to game time, if you want to get a better spread. Otherwise, I mean, you should be able to be okay with the numbers anyway. But it's always good to wait. Minus 900, like I said, for the Cavs. I actually parlayed that with one other team here that I thought was pretty likely to get a W. And there's 4 that I see that are pretty likely to get a W. You could do low parlays, high parlays, whatever you want to do. But I took these big money line parlays. Cleveland minus 800. They're minus 900 now. I still say you take it and then find another big money line to parlay that with. We got one more 5:30 game in the jump. The Miami Heat, I think they're a game out of seventh place, I think, but seventh and eighth place. They're in ninth. It's not going to get any easier for them today. They lost 2 games in the last week that were pretty fucking costly to them. They go to Toronto to take on the Raptors. Raptors just played yesterday, like we talked about. No, they didn't. They played 2 days ago, like we talked about. That was the return of Kyle Lowry. He put up 27 points in Detroit. Let's take a look at what's going on today. Yeah, this might be it for the Heat. I was wrong. They're only a half game out of seventh, but they play tonight against in Toronto, and then they play the Wizards at home and the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland to end the season. So, it's possible they're not going to get another win, which would be unfortunate because of that run, that 15 straight win run. And man, if they just would have had Dion Waiters, I think they would have been in the playoffs. They're a better team than Indiana or Chicago. And so I don't know. I'm pretty sad. They're probably a better team than fucking Milwaukee as well. As long as they have Dion Waiters, he was doing a lot for them. Fourth quarter scoring. But what else do we have here? Anything? Again, yep. Dion Waiters is out with a sprained ankle. Missed 10 fucking games straight. How sad is that? Okay, let's take a look at the spread. We have a 6-point favorite, Toronto Raptors at home. I thought that would be like a 9-point favorite. Money line, minus 250, obviously take that shit. A 2.5 to 1 odds that Toronto wins this home game. Pretty fucking likely. That is pretty fucking likely. Especially they have Kyle Lowry back. They have the 2 best players on the floor. They're at home. Their surrounding cast is better as well. If you take Whiteside and Dragic, they're 2 best players. The surrounding cast of the Raptors is significantly better. And they have, I just don't see it happening for the Heat, unfortunately. 250 for the Raptors. Go ahead and take that shit. All right, 6 o'clock. We have the New York Knicks traveling to Memphis to take on the Grizz. I think Memphis has lost. Let's see. Huh. Damn. They could actually finish in 8th. It's not impossible. They do need 1 win here out of the last 3 games. This is probably the one that's going to get it. Let me click on, they've lost 11 of their past 17 games. So what, 6 and 11 in their past 17 games. Only 5 games above 500 right now. I really liked the Grizzlies. If you guys remember earlier, back in like January or something, I think I had them at like 5 or 6 on my NBA power rankings. They're not even in the motherfucker at this point. They lost 3 straight games, yeah. And 3 games ahead of Portland with 3 to play. So obviously they have to win one of the. If they go 0-3 and Portland goes 3-0, Portland's in the 7th seed. Memphino is going to be in the 8th seed. Not terribly worried about it though today against the Knickerbockers. Am I right? Okay. Conley had a lacerated and swollen right eye. San Antonio didn't play Wednesday. Questionable for the game. That's interesting. What else do we have here? Yeah, I mean, basically is what it is. Looks like Porzingis is going to be back today. Obviously, Derrick Rose is out. And then Conley is going to be fitty on some might be able to play if the swelling goes down. Let's take a look at the spread. I mean, it's still pretty clear what it should be here. We have the Grizzlies minus 11.5. Holy shit. That's fucking huge. Huh. Minus 11.5. Money line, minus 850. And the Knicks are a plus 635. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Marc Gasol is battling a weak foot. Porzingis, Carmelo, they could possibly go off at just about any point. 105 points might win. This is a game where, man, I thought this would be in like the 400s. I think don't touch the Grizzlies at minus 850. They're probably going to win the game. If Conley plays, take the Grizzlies money line. If Conley doesn't play, take the fucking Knicks money line. Plus 635. That should be like a 300 something. Like, plus 635 is a massive